Hi, thanks for joining me again. This is Struggling to Whistle. Mental health sucks. In this particular vlog, I'm going to discuss the effect my mental health has on raising my son and how raising my son affects my mental health. I've decided to do this vlog because I'm currently having problems with the service that is providing my mental health support. And it's becoming a huge struggle. Sorry about the distraction. Cole is still awake, despite it being half an hour past his bedtime, he's resisting. So please bear in mind that my husband is with him. I haven't just shut the door and left him to it. He has got, a dog and a daddy to look after him. So I've been signed off from the perinatal team because my son is 20 months old, and they transfer you over typically if you need transferring over at the 12-month mark. I was moved over slightly earlier, but anyway, so I'm seeing the team that dealt with me before I got pregnant, and the professionals that I end up seeing and that are handling my care are fantastic. I don't have an issue with the individuals themselves. They do a really difficult job and they do it really well. However, the service that controls them is messing me around at the moment. They keep changing who my psychiatrist is, they keep changing appointments at the last moment or not actually telling me, so I don't sleep because I'm anxious about the appointment, but then when I get there, the appointment's cancelled. My care coordinator has changed 5 times in the past 5 weeks, which is making it really difficult to get my meds balanced enough so that I'm level but not overdrugged, because I'm not talking to the same person more than once. I don't know who I'm going to see next, whether I'm going to get on with them, because you don't always get on with the professional that you're assigned to. It's sad but true, and again, it's nothing wrong with the individual. It's simply that your personalities clash, you don't get on with their approach or the tone of voice. It can be really difficult. And the fact that they are constantly cancelling appointments and changing the people I'm seeing has meant that I'm getting less sleep because I'm not quite balanced. So at night time, my head won't shut up, so I can't sleep. And then when I do sleep, I can't get up because I'm so tired, which obviously has a detrimental effect on raising my son. I'm very fortunate, as I've stated in previous vlogs, that I have a fantastic support network, and because we have raised Cole to know the family as a whole, it means that if I have an off day, he doesn't feel it as such, because he's with somebody that loves him and loves his company, and he's quite comfortable. So to him, he just gets a day with Nanny, rather than where's Mummy gone, I need Mummy, lots of tears. So we don't often get that. He has his days where Mummy is the only one that will do, but thankfully at the moment he's quite content to spend time with other family members whilst I'm struggling. But the impact that my mental health decline has on Cole is that every moment suddenly becomes precious, because I don't know if tomorrow I'll be able to get out of bed and do what I need to do with him. So I end up forcing myself and overexerting myself to do things when I'm not really well enough to do it. And at the moment it feels like I'm taking 1 step forward and 5 steps back, because every time I call the mental health service to get an appointment with my psychiatrist or even my care coordinator, they tell me that they'll pass me through to the secretary, but then I get to the secretary and they don't know who I am because I've only just been transferred through. And the secretaries then say, I'll go for your care coordinator, but then my care coordinator has changed. and I don't know this care coordinator. So they then want to meet me before they will, put me forward for an appointment with a psychiatrist. And by the time I do that preliminary meeting, they then change me again. So I kind of feel like I'm half drowning, I suppose. Like I'm really struggling to stay afloat at the moment. And with it comes a whole lot of past issues, like for instance, weight issues. I, believe it or not, before I got put on medication for my bipolar, I was a size 8, and now clearly not. So I'm not saying it's all medication, it's partly having a baby and it's partly copious amounts of chocolate, but I hold my hands up. I survive on chocolate, but in my defence, I don't like coffee, so I have literally no caffeine in my diet. So all you mums out there surviving on copious amounts of coffee, yeah, I can't do that. So I survive on sugar instead, in the form of chocolate. It's something I really need to get positive about, making a change, because it's not helping my general mental health overall, which obviously isn't helping Cole. Now, don't get me wrong, when I spend time with Cole, it's quality time. I don't sit on my phone, I don't ignore him. We go out and we do activities, we go swimming, we do play groups, if I can, overcome my anxiety. When we're at home, I'm actively playing, chasing him around the room, or I'm building with him, with his blocks. I'm engaging him constantly. So every moment that we spend together is quality time, rather than I'm just there. And also, you have to see it from the other angle. My mental health does affect Cole slightly, but his lifestyle affects my mental health. For instance, at the moment we are going through a sleep phase that is not good. Now, whether it's because he's teething, or he's ill, or both, or it's just terrible twos early, I have no idea. But my son is refusing to go to bed these days, and when you try and take him to bed, he sobs. Now, I know a lot of parents do the cry it out method. I can't do that. As you can probably hear, my son in the background, he's still awake. Please don't think that I've just shut the door and left him on his own. My husband is in there, and the dog. So he's not on his own. But he's refusing to sleep. So prior to this, he would, like I said in my last vlog, have his bottle at 7, then a bath, and then he'd usually be in bed by 8. It's now 8:30. He is showing absolutely no signs of giving up and going to bed. He's extremely tired because he hasn't napped. He can barely stand, he's so tired, but he is refusing to go to bed. Obviously this has a direct impact on me and my husband, but on me and my mental health, because obviously once Cole's in bed, I get a bit of me time, and then obviously I slowly unwind and get to sleep. But because I'm not getting that now, because he's not sleeping and I'm worried about the reason why he's not sleeping, I'm not able to switch off. So I am up for most of the night, and obviously the more that happens, the more I sink, and again I'm still not able to actually see a professional about it. Now obviously when I speak to my care coordinator, whichever one that is on that particular day, they always say, well, you can call the crisis team. And it's like, yes, I can, and obviously I will if necessary, but that's not the point. And they don't seem to comprehend that cancelling appointments short notice and constantly changing somebody's support is not at all helpful in terms of establishing a good rapport and getting the help that is at the moment desperately needed. Another aspect that Cole's mental state, I suppose, affects me and my health is the worry that comes with any change in him. So for instance, today he hasn't really eaten that much. He refused his breakfast. He had 2 cupcakes at a party we went to, and he had about just over 3/4 of his dinner, and that's it. He didn't want veggie straws, which are his all-time favourite. He's addicted. He didn't want chocolate. He didn't want, I was trying to see whether he would eat, and he wouldn't eat. So now, part of my brain is worrying, why isn't he eating? Is this something I should be concerned about, or is it because it's too hot, or he's teething and just doesn't want it? So that plays on my mind as well, and obviously all these worries build up, and suddenly there's a little voice in my head telling me I'm a terrible mum, and that's why my son is small and not eating much and now not going to bed. So then these tiny little things that shouldn't really matter become these huge things that stop me sleeping and affect my mood. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that is struggling at this particular moment in time and having these particular struggles. I can't really offer any support as support. I am here should you want to talk or rant, or you need a bit of reassurance. I am quite happy to be there for you, but all I can say is seek that help, and if your support network that they put in place for you isn't right, then tell them. Because if you're seeing somebody that you don't get on with, then it's not going to benefit you in the slightest, and you are wasting your time and theirs. If you are struggling on a daily basis like myself, then seek support from your personal support network. So even if even if Nan and Grandad can watch the baby for even 20 minutes, that's 20 minutes that you can focus on yourself and do what you need to do to balance that out a bit. What else can I say? It's difficult. This is why I stressed in my previous vlog the benefit of a routine. Now, currently, obviously, I'm experiencing a break in routine. Hoping it's a tiny phase that he will outgrow and he'll go back to going to bed without sobbing, and then the voices in my head will quiet down and I'll be able to sleep again. Seek help. Absolutely, definitely seek help. Now, I know if you seek help and you find somebody that you think is coming across as judgmental, they probably don't mean it. My previous care coordinator came across as extremely judgmental, but luckily they changed it. And now I don't know, because my previous appointment was cancelled. So who knows whether I'll see the same care coordinator again. So I don't know where I stand. But in terms of yourself, seek help, absolutely, definitely. And on the times that you are with your child, if you can make it as worthwhile as you can, be as engaged as you possibly can, and then when you have that bad day, you can tell yourself, but I'm doing this. This is important for their development. This is a time that we have fun together. Yeah? It really is beneficial. It really does help when you're feeling really low and like the world's worst parent. If you can come up with, examples of times where you've done something worthwhile with your child. I know it's difficult on the days where you can't even find the energy to get out of bed, but it's possible, it's doable. Myself, I plan out the week. On a Sunday, I sit down and plan out the rest of the upcoming week, so that when I get up in the morning, I know exactly what I'm doing that day. And even if I'm having a bad day, I can tell myself, well, this is what I've got to accomplish today. And once that's done, it's done. And for the most part, it works. There are days where I get up and I just cannot achieve that particular task, but they're few and far between. So if it helps you, try it. Honestly, it does help. Other than that, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and please share.